Hey everybody, it's the Black Powder Beginner. And as you can see, what I have in my hand and in front of me are the two rifles that I've been working on. Not so much mechanically, but just kind of low development. I've learned a few things about the H&R Buffalo Classic. And one of the things that I learned is that the 535 grain Postel bullet does not work well in this rifle because the rifling is so slow. So with that being said, I had to scale it back to the 500. Now the 500 does a little bit better, but I had to scale it back to the 459 405 grain hollow base bullet. And so we're going to be shooting, but it's going to be a little bit different. Going to be shooting at 200, which is as far as I've been able to shoot so far. And, well, I'll just let the video speak for itself. Stay tuned. Okay, so made it here to American Shooting Centers in Katy, Texas. And so sorry about this. I have to do voiceover because um, my microphone stopped working. So I got everything set up. I have the 45-100 rolling block sitting on the rest. And something else that I wanted to kind of point out is that I do have a new rest that I bought. And I also have a new scope, spotting scope. If you can see that in the kind of the top left. So it kind of changed the dynamic. Well, the rest itself changed the dynamic of my shots. I also, if you've seen some of the videos that I have made about my rolling block, is that I have a windage adjustment front globe sight. So that front globe sight at one point fell out of the dovetail slot. So what I did was I reattached the globe sight, and this will actually be one of the first times that I'm shooting with with the globe sight dovetail back on the barrel. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm kind of sighting in, so to speak. But I took a couple shots before I started the camera. I did hit, but it wasn't. But I had to take some more shots like I said, before the camera started, because I was shooting top right. And so what you'll see here is three angles, and you can see that I'm still shooting top right. Okay, so I'm coming in for my next shot, and what I'm shooting is 95 grains of 3F Schutzen with the 535 Postel bullet. And what I worked out and what I figured out is that the rolling block shoots the 535 Postel much better than anything else. I tried the 405 hollow base. I tried the 500 Lee, and that's what I discovered is that the 535, because the twist rate is so fast on the rolling block, I believe it's 1 in 18, so it's a quite fast twist. So you see the last shot, and I was saying top left, but it's actually top right. But you see that last shot ended up being not top right, but mid right. So I'm still shooting off to the right, but I am trying to adjust for the elevation, and that's without seeing the camera and where my strikes are. I'm kind of just feeling my way through. So what I always do is I look at the bullets that I've wrote. These are all my loads, my reloads, and I do have an issue with the bullet depth. Sometimes there's a level of consistency that I don't necessarily have when it comes to loading the cases. That's why I scaled back the powder and changed the powder so that I was able to get um, a more consistent bullet seat. So that was the last of the 3 shot volley. And I am consistently hitting, I'm just consistently hitting to the right off paper. So I go take a look, and what I'm going to eventually do is adjust the rear sight. And so I have an issue with the fours, which I've been told before, front opposite, rear same. And since my vernier sight does not have windage adjustment, it only has a height adjustment, I have to adjust the windage in the front on the globe. And so you have to kind of turn your mind around and say, okay, well, I'm looking at it from this direction, so I need to turn it to this way. And eventually I get there. So let's kind of fast forward and take a look at the shots that I take after I adjust the windage. Okay, so I'm back on the bench and I make the adjustments to the windage, and it looks like everything is going quite well. I take the shot, I end up hitting right on the line, upper quadrant, right around 12 o'clock. As a matter of fact, at 12 o'clock, and everything is going well, but not so fast, not so fast. And we'll see on the next shot that I don't quite am able to maintain the consistency of the shot. And what I'm figuring out is there's a lot that goes into, even if you're on the bench, there's a lot that goes into your breathing, into the hold, into the placement. I tend to canter the rifle a little bit to the left or to the right, and that's why I have the spirit level on the front globe sight. But then go on to the next shot, and you'll see where it lands. Okay, so you see that shot there, and it's close to the same spot, but it's slightly to the right, and it's slightly higher. So I have to give you a little bit of context on this as far as what I'm doing. I hold with this rifle, I hold only slightly higher than center, right? And I try to keep the canter. You've seen the you've seen the spirit level. I try to check the canter before I fire, and I try to keep it at the same level, the same area. The problem is that when I do the hold, I tend to, I guess, drift a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing wrong. So what I decided to do was check the front globe sight, check the spirit level to make sure that it was still attached properly. Make sure the globe sight was attached properly because, like I said before, it did come off when I was shooting before. And I did adjust the windage just ever so slightly. And I wanted to kind of make sure that I that everything was straight. So now I'm going to try to take a shot just basically offhand, and I'm going to take a look and see what how that turns out. So I took the shot here, and I believe that once I looked at it, I made the realization that it wasn't so much my canter this time; it was my hold. I was aiming with the tip of the post straight on center, and that's how low it was when my previous holds have been high. So that just goes to show you how much difference there is in the shot from 200 feet or 200 yards. Okay, so I've got the Buffalo Classic out, and I put on my limb saver because the Buffalo Classic is a very light rifle, very light. So it doesn't handle recoil very well. And after shooting quite a few shots with the rolling block, my shoulder is a bit tender. So I put on the limb saver, and now I'm going to take some shots with the Buffalo Classic. And I wanted to just show that, and it's hard to see, but that is the 405, the 459, 405 grain hollow base bullet, and it's an eye opener on the difference in the recoil alone. So set up and see what these shots look like. All right, so I'm set up with the Buffalo Classic. You see the shot go off here, and something that I wanted to kind of include, so that's why I separated these shots. If you look, you don't see the shot because it's out of frame, but the point of impact, but it's very low and to the left, and that's because, well, not only the windage needs to be adjusted, which I do, but also the the peep sight, which the H&R Buffalo Classic has a Williams peep sight and a Lyman globe sight, which is the peep sight is not doesn't the ramp itself is not nearly high enough to account for the distance, and so that's why that shot was so low. Okay, set up for the third shot, and you can see I just adjusted Kentucky windage and whatnot, and it gets a little bit better. My elevation is a little bit better, and but my windage is still off. So after this point, I decided to actually adjust the peep sight to see where I could actually place the shots. So at this point, I feel like I can't do any worse. So I'll take the shot offhand. And once again, I've already adjusted for the windage and elevation as best I can. And if you look close, that's why I zoomed in and slowed it down. I actually do hit the cardboard, but it's still fairly low. At the bottom left of the cardboard, you can kind of see that hole. So they're not tumbling, but it's still quite low, lower than I wanted. Of course, it's not actually the paper. And so, it's getting hot. I'm getting kind of tired. So I just decided to start shooting offhand. So let's see this next shot. Now for these next few shots, I will say one thing about them. They are consistent. Consistently off target, but they are consistent. Bottom, low, too low, and to the left. So I will walk away with my head held high because they do end up in the same spot, just not on the paper. But enjoy these last few shots, and thanks for watching.